sound. OMG. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Can you hear me now? Guys, over here, I'm over here doing a whole video without sound. Oh my goodness. Let me know if you can hear the sound now. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just looked up and saw and saw the question. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so now I'm going to go over. Thank you. So, for those who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, let's pick up here. So we're going to do the reports. We're going to do, if you have any question about what I was showing earlier, please feel free to put the question in. I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay. So the reports, let me go back so I can make sure that it's captured on the video. And I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry guys, I gotta do this again. All right, so when I open my reports, I go over to the left navigation bar, I click the reports, and what I do, I save my reports as, so I save my balance sheet, I make it a favorite. Come on. And then my profit and loss, I also add to the favorite. Come on. And then I go down here and I look for my trial balance and I add that to my favorite as well. Come on. You know what? Let me put it like that. And it should be added to my favorite. Let me go back to the report. Okay, there they are. So now you click on your profit and loss. You want, there are some things that you want to pay attention to. Then you change it to last year, and it changed the date right here. Change it to cash. Make sure you hit run report. Now, when you run your profit and loss as a business owner, you want to view, take a scan of what is happening on your profit and loss. So this is your income, is going to always be at the top. Look at your income. If you are using a third party integration like Square and Stripe, make sure you run the income from those platform and then come over to your QuickBooks and see if it matches. You want to pay attention to that, right? So you look at your income, make sure it's correct. If you have expense, and then, so this is all the income. So this is your gross income. If you have several income, then you want to make sure you pay attention to it, look at it. If you get a 1099, now bear in mind that some third party payments, there would be a difference in the income sometime. So make sure you pay attention to that, okay? Because there's a timing difference. Then the other thing you want to do is look at your expenses. Now, easy way, let's go back to the income. So let's say that you're looking at your income, your main income, and you want to look to see what makes up this income. You put your mouse right on the number, it will turn blue. Anything that turn blue in QuickBooks, you can drill it down. So you can just right click on, left click on it, and it will show you all the receipts or whatever make up that number. Now, when you get to this report, there's several ways you can drill down. But now, because see, anything that turns blue, you can click on it to see exactly what it is. Now, if you have a lot of income, then there will be a lot of stuff here. So if you want to go back to the report, all you got to do is to make sure you go where it says transaction report at the top and click on it, back to your report, and then it will take you back to the report. So this is something you might want to do, is to drill down into your income, take a look at it, make sure it's correct. Make sure it's correct. Everything is there. If there's a problem, then that's going to be a whole nother issue. That's when you reach out to Elaine and say, Elaine, I don't know, something is wrong with my income. Okay. All right. So the same thing for your expenses. The very same thing for your expenses. If you have an expense, let's say you're paying for QuickBooks Online every month. Every month you're paying for QuickBooks Online, and you categorize your QuickBooks Online, um, let's say under accounting. What you want to do is that you can drill down on that. Make sure you pay attention to the dates. If you know that you pay for a full 12 months, and when you look here, you only see 2 payments, 3 payments, then you want to make sure that you're checking to make sure that all your expense that came from QuickBooks Online into it is showing up under that expense. So you drill down, make sure you look at it, and make sure that you have all your expense right. Then you can go right back to your summary, and you can do any of these expenses. You can click on them to see what makes it up. You can click on it to see what makes it up, right? And you can go right back to your report. See, this one says miscellaneous. You can click on it, and this might be not classified correctly or not categorized correctly. Then you can make changes, right? So back to the report. Any one of these expenses, office expense, meal, as long as it turns blue, it's a hyperlink, and you can go right to that expense and take a look to see how we fix this. It's going to be dependent on what is the problem, because I know somebody out there saying, so how do we fix if it is wrong? So I could tell you any number of ways to fix it, but that might not be the way to fix it, because that might not be the problem. So we'd have to know what is the problem before we can actually fix it. Okay, I hope that was helpful, that we were able to all right. So if there is any question, please feel free to put your question in, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you have. Make sure that you put your question in, and I will answer it. uh, All right. If you have any question, feel free to go back and watch the video. Watch the video. For those who are over on YouTube and in the Facebook group, the first thing you do before you start pulling the report, is make sure that your bank feed has no transaction for 2022, or whether it's a subsequent year, whatever year you're doing. Make sure when you go to your bank feed, there's no transaction in that bank feed for 2022. You would have categorized all the transaction. Then once those transactions are categorized, you would go to the account and go to the reconciliation, and then you can reconcile the bank account. Make sure it is reconciled, there's no duplicate transaction. All of that will be taken care of. And this is how, I don't know. This is not going to reconcile, because this is not a feature inside the sample company that is live. So this was just to show you what it looks, a reconciliation, how you would reconcile it. You would use the bank balance from your bank statement, take the balance from your bank statement, and then put it, let's go back here. You put the balance right here, the date that you're reconciling, save, and then you add the transaction, you check them off. And if you notice this balance changes once I'm checking them off, you have to make sure that it is was already cleared in your bank account. Make sure that the transaction, like this one says it clear in your bank account. Once it's cleared, then you can do the reconciliation and you can reconcile your bank account. Once you have reconciled your bank account, then you can go pull the report. So we talk about the profit and loss. Let's take a quick look at the trial balance and the balance sheet. Now, another thing you want to look at is your balance sheet. If you click on your balance sheet, the same thing, change to the last and cash and run. Now, if your bank account is balanced, is reconciled, the reconciled balance should be correct. If you have money in your undeposited fund, you want to pay attention to that, because that means, do you really have this cash, or this error needs to be corrected? And if you have fixed asset, you want to make sure you're looking at those. This says, if your credit card, you want to reconcile your credit cards as well. This is saying that you owe somebody $29. You want to make sure that you look at that and make sure that these are the ones you want to look at and make sure. So you can click on that, just like the profit and loss. And okay, these are expenses. All right. So did they go to the, if these are expense that was paid, did you pay that credit card? So you want to make sure to see if you still owe the credit card. This is saying that you still owe the credit card some money. So if you made those payment, you got to make sure that you are taking, writing entering those payment correctly. All right. So that's your balance sheet. Now, you can either print a copy of your balance sheet and your profit and loss and take it to your tax preparer. But if you print a copy of your trial balance, which is a combination of both your balance sheet and your profit and loss, and take it to your tax preparer, so it would give them a full idea of your business. You give them a trial balance, and the trial balance have the whole, everything that's in your business. It has your checking, your savings, it has your assets, it has your liability, and then your tax preparer can use that to prepare your taxes. So if you have any question, please feel free to to chime in, ask your question in the comment. I'll be more than happy to answer any question you have. And if you have a topic inside of QuickBooks that you would like us to go over at any kind of demonstration on any QuickBooks, please feel free. We are also getting ready to offer a support service. If you're using QuickBooks, we're going to start a support group. Yes, it's going to be a paid support group where you can come in and get your questions answered. It's going to be a secured portal where you can ask your questions, so nobody's going to see your question. You can ask your question. The reason why we're making it where your question is not going to be seen by everybody is because it's your finances, and for it's where we want to secure your privacy. We want to secure your privacy when it comes to your finances. If it's a general question, that's okay. But most time when people are using QuickBooks, they have specific question as it relates to their finances. So we don't want you to put your own finances business out there. So we're going to do a support group where you'll be able to ask your question in a secure manner, where that is not seen by everybody. Now, what we're going to do is that if we are getting the same question, we're going to be able to do like a question and answer where we do a general thing without showing your information. We answer the question in it so that other people can get the answer to that same question. So, with that said, we are going to say goodbye to those on Facebook and those on YouTube. I will see you back here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Actually, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you back here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, and we will see you next week.